I'm struggling with my voice a little bit this morning because this is what happens when you do too much networking here at the ACFE. However, we'll try to get through this with a little bit of water. Really appreciate that you showed up for this session. And you're about to embark upon a journey. By the end of this journey, each and every one of you will have to make a critical decision between three choices. Will you decide to facilitate fraudulent activity in the workplace? Or will you decide to be a bystander thinking, well, there's just nothing I can do about it? Or will you leave here today taking a stand to try to stop and impede this growing epidemic? Why? Because while you're enjoying the ACFE conference by day and the sights and sounds of the Vegas Strip at night, and hopefully winning a little bit in the slot machines, my associates and I are planning our next big cyber attack. We're not lazy criminals taking advantage of targets of opportunity. We are professionals. We will stalk, we will survey the terrain from up above and carefully select our targets. In fact, many of your organizations represented here in this room today are potential targets for us. We'll look for the softest targets among you, meaning the ones that have the greatest vulnerabilities. And then we will carefully plan and execute our attack. We don't care really about collateral damage when we attack. Perhaps it will start with the breach of some sensitive information that one of your clients has entrusted you with. Now that could have very severe repercussions upon your firm. Repercussions to the point of maybe no return, leaving the firm destroyed, colleagues, yourself, unemployed, looking for a new position, and economic devastation for your family. However, we really don't care about that. We will breach your security, whether it be for power, fame, or economic gain, or perhaps a little bit of all of those. We will manipulate our targets, and we will manipulate you. Why should you care? Over 90% of all successful security breaches start with some aspect of social engineering. That's according to the 2018 Verizon Data Breach Investigations Report. Over 90%. That's a real impressive statistic. For those of you who are not quite clear on what social engineering is, think about it not only in terms of cybersecurity, but think about it in terms of security breaches in general, because not all security breaches deal with cyber. I'd like to give it the following definition. Social engineering is the process by which someone, the social engineer, manipulates a second party to take an action which may or may not be of benefit to that second party, but meets the objectives of that social engineer. The key word here, manipulates. And you might think, well, my spouse is pretty good at manipulating me into doing things that I really don't want to do. My children are excellent manipulators. Yeah, all of us are in some degrees involved in social engineering people, right? However, in this case, we're talking about manipulation for nefarious objectives. You can think of social engineering in another terms, such as perhaps people hacking. So why are we talking about manipulating people when we're talking about security breaches? Because aren't our organizations protected by walls, fences, secure access points? Aren't our IT systems protected by firewalls? We are led to believe that technology will protect us. However, technology will not take into consideration the human factor. What I refer to as human factor is any interaction between humans and technology generally becomes the weakest link in our security. Human beings can and are manipulated on a daily basis to circumvent technological controls and to take advantage of vulnerabilities which are detrimental to their own security as well as the security of a firm. So a good starting point for us social engineers is collecting information. Collecting information on the organization as well as collecting information on the individuals who work there. I think you refer to them as insiders, whether they be the CEO, the receptionist, all employees in a firm are potentially insiders. And not just employees. Anyone who has regular, unescorted access into a company, into an organization, can be an insider. For example, the cleaning crew that comes in after hours, unescorted access, many times. The guard force that's under contract. Perhaps the individuals who service your photocopy machines, or those who cater your dining facilities. Anyone, both staff employees as well as contractors who come in on a regular basis with unescorted access can be manipulated by us to breach your security. Let's get back to the data. In the old days, a long time ago, for some of us, maybe it seems like yesterday, where did we go to get our information? A place called the library, right? Remember that? Do they still exist? They do. Any librarians out there? Once in a while, I have a couple. Yeah, encyclopedias, periodicals, newspapers, and of course, an occasional nap. And it's pretty quiet and tedious. But today, life's got a lot easier for us social engineers. We can, thanks to Al Gore's creation of the internet, we can now collect our information online, making it very easy. The volume of information and the readily availability of that information just makes it so much easier. So we can be sitting behind our keyboard in a cafe such as Starbucks, or perhaps the comfort and safety of our own homes. And incidentally, some of us do start out rather young in this career.